Monday, February 2nd, 2026. Today on Bold and the Beautiful, Steffi gives Taylor an ultimatum, and Dylan tells Electra she has something important to tell her. Read the last B&B recap. Taylor and Deacon gave in to their inappropriate feelings as Ivy ordered Dylan to gas up and get out of LA. Taylor is antsy at the Cliff House. She looks out at the surf and thinks of Deacon telling her how much he loves her. Deacon calls to say he needs to see her. Neither of them could sleep last night and want to be in one another's arms. She says it's not too late to change his mind. "No way," he says. She reminds him this will blow up his life. He says it's time. He wants a better relationship with his kids, and he can't have that with Sheila. She gets off the line as Steffi arrives. Steffi comes in, and her mom explains something happened. Taylor explains that she and Deacon want to be together. They can't deny their feelings any longer. Steffi freaks out. "This cannot happen," she declares. Steffi accuses her of putting herself and the family in danger. Finn had to completely shut Sheila out. She tells her mom that if she continues to associate with Deacon, she can no longer be part of the family. If she picks up with Deacon, Sheila will come after all of them. If she gets involved with Deacon, she will have to cut her out of the family. At Il Giardino, Deacon finds Sheila decapitating fish. She tells him he's her catch every day of the week. They talk about their connection, and she's amazed she owes so much to Taylor. He starts drinking water as she tells him about their wonderful life and how he's changed her. Deacon says they came into each other's lives at the right time. She says he helped her change for the better. He's sure she's a different person now and wouldn't go back to her old ways if he wasn't around. Sheila asks what's really going on. He nats to tell her how much she means to him. Sheila assumes he wants to tell her something else. At the beach house, Finn thanks Dylan and Will for looking after Hayes. The little boy hugs her and says he wants to see her again soon. She tells Hayes he's awesome and gives him a hug. Once Hayes and Finn are gone, Will says he's headed for the office. He says she's a good person and thanks her for helping out. Once he leaves, she weeps. At Forrester, Ivy and Electra chat about her trip to San Francisco. Ivy flashes back to the filth she witnessed before ordering Dylan out of town. Ivy goes over the sales figures and is impressed. Electra says it was fun. Ivy thinks she's earned fun. She's proud of her and will do all in her power to make sure she gets what she deserves. Ivy takes off, and Will surprised Electra with flowers, telling her how much he missed her. He tells her that Hayes seems to be smitten with Dylan. He has a sense about how good she is. Ivy heads to the beach house, unhappy to see that Dylan hasn't packed. She tells her to leave with dignity and not make this Electra's burden. Dylan protests that she's got this all wrong. Ivy is sure she saw her making googly eyes at Will, and now she has to pay the price. Dylan insists what she did was innocent, but Ivy doesn't believe it. She was not acting appropriately. Electra starts calling Dylan. She answers, and Electra thanks her for helping out. Dylan says she has good news. Electra asks her down to the office to tell her. When she gets off the line, Ivy orders her to thank Electra and apologize before leaving and never coming back. The Bold and the Beautiful's must-watch moments for Tuesday, February 3rd, include Dylan surprising Electra and Will with her news. Plus, Taylor and Deacon vow to find a way to be together. Finally, RJ shares some of his designs with Carter. While Steffi and Electra were away on a business trip, Dylan ignored a boundary Electra had already made clear after Will brushed it off as no big deal. Dylan and Will ended up babysitting Hayes, putting them together in close quarters. At Will's place, Dylan practiced ballet and lost her balance, tumbling onto him on the couch. Ivy happened to spot the moment through the window and immediately jumped to conclusions. She confronted Dylan and told her it was time to leave town. Elsewhere, Taylor and Deacon finally admitted their feelings for one another. Deacon had initially turned to Taylor for counseling after learning the truth about Sheila's deception. While Taylor made it clear to Sheila that they could no longer be friends due to her professional role with Deacon, she failed to maintain the same boundaries with him. Things escalated when Taylor and Deacon shared a kiss. Steffi demanded that Taylor drop Deacon as a client, but Taylor refused. Desperate to shut things down, Steffy even tried to rope Hope into stopping their parents' growing connection, only to learn Hope was relieved that her father was finally moving on from Sheila. RJ thrilled his parents when he returned to Los Angeles. He's been back around at Forrester Creations. The Bold and the Beautiful could set the stage for RJ and Dylan to fall in love. Currently, it seems like Dylan could interfere with Electra's relationship with Will. Ivy spied on them and saw them growing closer. However, she agreed to keep it a secret, for now. But neither Ivy nor Electra might have anything to worry about. Dylan could end up falling for another guy instead. This could be the ultimate plot twist in this complicated storyline. According to the B&B preview, Dylan shows up at Forrester Creations, where she bumps into RJ, who spills his drink on himself. They look into each other's eyes and are pleased with what they see. Could they end up falling in love? Since Will and Electra are romantically involved, Dylan and RJ might realize they're better off together. Currently, Dylan is attracted to Will, but she respects her friend's relationship. She hasn't done anything that would cause Electra to doubt her, but that hasn't stopped Ivy from getting involved. She spied on Will and Dylan while Electra was away, and she didn't like what she saw. She told Dylan to move far, far away so she doesn't impact their relationship. Dylan genuinely doesn't want to cause any trouble, and she's not the type of woman who would seduce Will. Yet, Ivy sees her differently. However, Dylan could end up with RJ, which could ruffle the feathers of both Electra and Will. Electra had immediate sparks with RJ. She looked more interested in him than in Will. But it didn't take Electra long to tell RJ that her boyfriend was sweet, caring, and kind. RJ was shocked to learn that she was dating his long-running rival. Seeing Dylan with RJ could bring out her jealousy. They already have a great dynamic, but Electra claims she's happier with Will. Or is she? This relationship could cause her to come to terms with her feelings for RJ. As B&B fans already know, RJ and Will don't get along. Will might get bothered by the thought of Dylan having any feelings for RJ. He opened himself up to Dylan, and he believes that she's a good person. Will could think that Dylan's too good for RJ. He'll claim that she deserves someone better. Someone like him, perhaps? It might take him some time to come to terms with his feelings for her. The Bold and the Beautiful spoilers say Queen Steffy will have no choice but to issue her mom one of her infamous ultimatums. Steffy ordered Taylor Hayes to steer clear of Deacon, and she did the opposite. When Steffy Forrester tries to force her mom to choose, there's a chance she might not like the outcome. Will Taylor choose true love or her daughter's tantrum? Keep reading to find out. Here's what's coming up next on the CBS soap. Taylor Hayes is a world-renowned psychiatrist and makes a living out of saving people's marriages. But, frankly, her own personal love life is a mess. Steffy Forrester's mom was heartbroken when Ridge ran off with Brooke Logan again. Now, she has found a man that is choosing her instead of his wife, and the good doc can't resist. The Bold and the Beautiful spoilers say Taylor and Deacon Sharp will want to make their love official and are looking forward to his divorce. The lovebirds are so Twitter-pated, they really have no idea the wrath they just unleashed from Sheila Carter. Steffy knows all too well, though, and that's why she ordered her mom to leave Sheila's man alone. Steffy is definitely right. Her mom is putting herself in grave danger by stealing Sheila's husband. But at the end of the day, it's not Steffy's business who Taylor hooks up with. Rather than heeding her daughter's advice, Taylor could tell her daughter to kick rocks. For the first time in a long time, Taylor is happy. Why would she throw her romance with Deacon away because her daughter told her to? If Steffy can sleep with Sheila's son, then why can't Taylor sleep with Sheila's husband? Do you think Taylor will choose her new man over her daughter? January belonged to Sean Kanan on The Bold and the Beautiful. As Deacon, Kanan delivered a layered, emotionally charged performance that captured the character's constant push and pull between desire, guilt, fear, and loyalty. Over the course of the month, viewers watched Deacon fall deeper for Taylor while remaining tethered to Sheila, fully aware that every choice he made carried real danger. By the time Deacon crossed a line he couldn't uncross, Kanan had made every conflicted beat feel earned. Sean Kanan has never played Deacon as a simple bad guy or a reformed hero, and January highlighted why that approach works. Deacon's sessions with Taylor weren't just plot devices. Kanan infused them with vulnerability, hesitation, and longing, allowing viewers to see how Deacon slowly lost control of feelings he knew he shouldn't be having. What stood out was how carefully Kanan paced the arc. Deacon didn't leap headfirst into romance. He wrestled with it. Every look, pause, and deflection carried weight, especially as Deacon tried to convince himself that therapy was helping him fix his marriage rather than unravel it. The real tension came from Deacon's marriage to Sheila, a relationship that has always lived on the edge of disaster. Kanan played Deacon as a man who knew exactly how dangerous Sheila could be, yet remained emotionally trapped by her. That awareness never left the performance, even in lighter or more romantic moments with Taylor. Kanan's Deacon didn't forget Sheila when she wasn't in the room. The threat lingered in his expressions and decisions, grounding the storyline in unease rather than fantasy. It made the attraction to Taylor feel reckless, not romanticized, and raised the stakes without anyone needing to say a word. By the end of January, Deacon and Taylor crossed the line they had been dancing around. Their kiss landed not as a triumphant payoff, but as a moment heavy with consequence. Kanan sold the hesitation right up until it disappeared, making the choice feel impulsive and inevitable at the same time. That's what made the moment work. Deacon didn't suddenly become fearless or foolish. He became human. Kanan captured the release, the guilt, and the realization that there was no easy way back once the line was crossed. January's arc required balance, and Kanan delivered it. He made Deacon sympathetic without excusing him, conflicted without repeating himself, and compelling without overpowering the story. The Bold and the Beautiful, spoilers for the next 2 weeks, suggest some twists. Fans can expect Steffy Forrester Finnegan to issue a threat. Meanwhile, Dylan has a chance meeting with R.J. Forrester. Keep reading to find out what is coming up in the CBS soap opera. Before getting to the 2-weekers, let's discuss what is coming up from February 2 to 6. Fans will see Steffy freak out over Taylor Hayes continuing to see Deacon sharp. Taylor has crossed the line and isn't acting as a therapist anymore, but as a woman. Deacon and Taylor are determined to be together. That means Deacon will need to tell Sheila Carter Sharp the truth at some point. However, we know that at the end of the week, Sheila is still blissfully unaware. In the meantime, Steffy will order her mother to stop associating with Deacon. If Taylor doesn't, Steffy says her mother will lose her whole family, including her. Over with Dylan, she goes to tell Will Spencer and Electra Forrester some news. The girl will take Ivy Forrester's cash and prepare to leave the city. Dylan goes to Forrester Creations to say goodbye. However, on her way out, she literally bumps into RJ. It seems that the two will have instant sparks. But what about Ivy's threat? As for what else to expect this week, Eric Forrester impresses Katie Logan Spencer. However, Eric reminds Katie and Bill Spencer that this needs to be kept a secret. At some point, Liam Spencer finds out about Eric's new job. While he won't say anything, what if Brooke Logan Forrester starts questioning him? The Bold and the Beautiful, spoilers for the week of February 9th, reveal that Ridge Forrester will explode over Taylor's new romance. Ridge could overstep and end up pissing off Brooke. Plus, Carter Walton and Daphne Rose will want to start planning their wedding. There might be a romance between RJ and Dylan. RJ might be nice enough to let Dylan stay in the guest house or something. However, Ivy will find out at some point and really blow her top. Even if RJ and Dylan fall in love, Ivy will remain obsessed with getting rid of the girl, so stay tuned. RJ Forrester has made quite a splash in the Los Angeles dating pool, and according to his mom on The Bold and the Beautiful, he's quite the catch. Will Miss Dylan be the lucky lady that ends up hooking up with Brooke Logan's son? Brian Nicoletti and Sydney Bullock are set to come face-to-face next week on B&B. Keep reading to find out if sparks will fly. When RJ Forrester returned to The Bold and the Beautiful, all signs were pointing to him romancing his fake cousin, Electra Forrester. But she's not the only young lady roaming the halls of Forrester Creations that isn't related to RJ. A new promo shows RJ and Dylan literally bumping into each other next week. Of course, Bridge's son turns up the charm. Since Miss Dylan moved in to RJ Forrester's beach house, she hasn't been able to keep Dollar Bill's shirtless son off her mind. In fact, she has flirted shamelessly with her new roomie every chance she has had. We don't know enough about the homeless art teacher to determine if she's this flirtatious with every man, or she's just obsessed with Will Spencer. But we are about to find out. RJ Forrester is a handsome guy and could spoil Dylan and give her a life she only dreamed of. But Bold and the Beautiful spoilers say she could be wasting her time trying to charm him. Nicoletti revealed last month that when he auditioned for the role, the writers hate him working with Linnea Grace. If they planned on hooking him up with Dylan, wouldn't they have been screen testing the actor with Sydney Bullock instead? The Bold and the Beautiful spoilers say that when Dylan meets RJ Forrester, she will still be fuming over Ivy Forrester threatening her. She could fill him in on her personal drama, and they will realize they have a lot in common. Rather than hooking up with each other, Dylan and RJ could work together to break up Will and Electra. Do you think that sparks will fly between Dylan and RJ? Could there be a new couple in the works? Or will they work together to split up their crushes? The Bold and the Beautiful spoilers are in for Tuesday, February 3rd, 2026. Fans can expect Dylan to make a shocking announcement. RJ Forrester shows off his designs. Plus, Deacon Sharp and Taylor Hayes make a vow. Keep reading to find out what is coming up in the CBS soap opera. Let's start off with Ivy Forrester. The lady played sick to get out of going to San Francisco, then spied on Will Spencer and Dylan. Ivy didn't bother knocking on the door. She just peered in the window, like some creepy peeping Tom. The woman didn't bother confronting Will, just Dylan. It was Will who kept insisting Dylan dance for him after all. Ivy threatened Dylan and threw some cash in her face. Dylan doesn't want Electra hating her. So, she plans on just filling up her car and driving out of town. Before she leaves, Dylan stops by Forrester Creations to make her announcement. However, when Will and Electra want an explanation, Dylan can't tell her about Ivy, so she will come up with an excuse. Don't expect Dylan to leave town just yet, though. It seems that when Electra zooms out of FC, she literally runs into RJ. The Bold and the Beautiful spoilers for tomorrow's episode reveal that Deacon and Taylor will make a vow to one another. Despite Deacon being married to Sheila Carter Sharp, he now thinks he's in love with Taylor. In an interesting twist, Taylor has thrown her medical oaths out the window and wants to be with Deacon too. So, how are they going to do this? Deacon should dump Sheila before moving on with Taylor. They can't keep their romance a secret from her forever. Just wait until Steffy Forrester Finnegan finds out. The brunette will be furious with both her mother and Deacon. Steffy will also want to make sure her own family is protected in case Sheila does look for a target. There are also RJ's designs. It seems that RJ might stick around a bit, likely because of meeting both Electra and Dylan. RJ will also show his latest sketches to Carter Walton. Carter might be really impressed. With Carter's wedding to Daphne Rose coming up, could RJ design for the nuptials? Which storyline are you looking forward to seeing the most on Tuesday, February 3rd, 2026? Carter Walton is probably the most excited groom we have seen on The Bold and the Beautiful in a while. When Daphne Rose said yes, Carter started a mad dash to get her to the altar before she changed her mind. After over half a dozen failed engagements, the giddy groom isn't taking any chances. But what if someone else stops the I-do's and crashes their big Forrester Creations wedding? Carter Walton and Daphne Rose are not wasting any time getting to altar and are eager to start a new chapter as husband and wife. The Bold and the Beautiful. Spoilers say Carter and Daphne have already picked out a venue and are working on their guest list. Daphne Rose won't have to look far for a dress, and Carter has probably already booked half a dozen cake tastings. The Bold and the Beautiful spoilers say Daphne is excited for their wedding day, and there's no indication of the perfume guru getting cold feet before the ceremony. Carter might finally get his happy ending on the CBS soap, as long as no one crashes the wedding. The Bold and the Beautiful showrunner Bradley Bell dished last year that they would start exploring Daphne's back history, and a member of her past would pop up in Los Angeles. Seeing as how she's getting married, it makes sense that she could have an ex that tried to shut down the I-do's. The soap rumor mill has even been hinting that Daphne could still be married to someone else. Do you think someone from Daphne's past will crash Carter's wedding and ruin the I-do's? Or is he finally going to get his perfect wedding? Share your thoughts in the comments below and keep checking back here on Soap Opera Spy for more Bold and Beautiful spoilers and news.